Imagine a man so tall, so powerful, and so strikingly different from anyone else in 16th century Japan that the locals literally crushed one another to death just to catch a glimpse of him. This was not a visiting deity or a mythical creature. This was Yasuke, an African warrior who arrived in a land of closed borders and rising suns to become the world's first recorded black samurai.
His journey from the shores of East Africa to the inner circle of Japan's most powerful warlord is a tale of survival, honor, and a mystery that has endured for 500 years. To understand Yasuke, we must first understand the world he was born into.
While his exact origins remain a subject of historical debate, most scholars believe he was born in the mid-16th century, likely between 1550 and 1560. He is often linked to the Makua people of Mozambique, though some theories suggest he may have been from Sudan or Ethiopia. Regardless of his birthplace, Yasuke was a child of a turbulent era, caught in the gears of the global slave trade and the expansion of the Portuguese Empire. He was eventually employed or enslaved by the Jesuits, specifically serving as a bodyguard to Alessandro Valignano, one of the most powerful Catholic missionaries in Asia. Valignano was a man of immense influence, tasked with overseeing the spread of Christianity in the East. When he set sail for Japan in 1579, Yasuke was at his side.
At approximately 6 feet 2 inches tall, Yasuke was a giant in an era where the average Japanese man stood barely 5 feet tall. His skin was described by observers as being like charcoal, and his strength was said to surpass that of 10 men. When the mission arrived in the port of Kuchinotsu in Kyushu, the reaction of the Japanese public was nothing short of hysteria.
Thousands flocked to see the towering stranger, and in the chaos, several people were reportedly killed in the stampede. The news of this black giant spread across the warring provinces like wildfire, eventually reaching the ears of the most feared and powerful man in Japan, Oda Nobunaga. Nobunaga was a visionary, a brutal conqueror, and a man obsessed with the new and the extraordinary. He was the great unifier, the man who was systematically crushing his rivals to bring Japan under a single sword. When Valignano's party reached Kyoto in 1581, Valignano summoned them immediately. He wanted to see this man for himself.
The meeting between Oda Nobunaga and Yasuke is one of the most famous encounters in Japanese history. When Yasuke was brought before the warlord, Nobunaga refused to believe the man's skin was naturally black. He was convinced it was a trick, that the stranger had covered himself in black ink to deceive him.
In a display of his characteristic intensity, Nobunaga ordered Yasuke to strip to the waist and had his skin scrubbed with brushes in front of the entire court. To Nobunaga's shock, the skin did not fade. It remained as dark as before.
Instead of being offended, Nobunaga was captivated. He saw in Yasuke not just a curiosity, but a warrior of immense potential. Nobunaga was a man who valued merit and strength over lineage, a radical idea in the rigid social structures of feudal Japan.
He took Yasuke into his service, giving him the name he is known by today. Yasuke was granted a residence, a ceremonial katana, and the status of a samurai. In a matter of months, he went from a foreign servant to a member of the elite warrior class, standing by the side of the man who held the fate of Japan in his hands.
Yasuke's rise was meteoric. He became a close confidant to Nobunaga, often dining with him, a privilege reserved for only the highest-ranking retainers. He learned the Japanese language quickly, engaging in deep conversations with the warlord about the world beyond the seas. Nobunaga reportedly enjoyed Yasuke's company because he was intelligent, imposing, and unlike the sycophants who usually surrounded him, Yasuke was a man of genuine world experience. In the heat of the Sengoku period, being a samurai was not a title of ceremony, it was a life of blood and steel.
Yasuke accompanied Nobunaga on his campaigns, most notably during the conquest of the Takeda clan at the Battle of Tenmokuzan. On the battlefield, Yasuke was a psychological weapon.
Imagine the sight of a 190-centimeter tall African warrior clad in traditional samurai armor, wielding a blade with immense strength, charging through the smoke of matchlock pistols.
To the enemies of Nobunaga, he must have looked like a demon of war, an unstoppable force from another realm. However, the golden age of Yasuke was destined to be short-lived. In June 1582, at the height of his power, Oda Nobunaga was betrayed.
One of his most trusted generals, Akechi Mitsuhide, turned his armies against his master. Nobunaga was staying at the Honnoji Temple in Kyoto with only a small contingent of guards. Among them was Yasuke. As Mitsuhide's forces surrounded the temple and set it ablaze, a desperate and bloody struggle ensued.
Yasuke fought with the ferocity of a man who had found a home and a purpose and was determined to defend it, but the odds were impossible. Realizing that his end was near and wishing to maintain his honor, Nobunaga committed seppuku, ritual suicide, in the heart of the burning temple.
Legend says that Yasuke was the one who remained with him until the very end, perhaps even being tasked with protecting Nobunaga's head so it could not be taken as a trophy by the traitors. With Nobunaga dead, Yasuke did not surrender. He escaped the burning ruins of Honnoji and fought his way to the Nijo castle to join Nobunaga's son, Oda Nobutada.
He rallied with the remaining Oda forces, defending the castle against wave after wave of Akechi's men. He fought until his sword broke, until he was exhausted and covered in the blood of his enemies. Finally, he was captured.
When Yasuke was brought before the traitor Akechi Mitsuhide, the general faced a dilemma. Yasuke was a samurai, and by the laws of Bushido, he should have been executed or ordered to take his own life. However, Mitsuhide, perhaps out of a mix of contempt and tactical dismissal, claimed that Yasuke was not a man but a beast, and since he was not Japanese, he did not deserve the death of a warrior.
He ordered that Yasuke be returned to the Temple of the Southern Barbarians, the Jesuit mission in Kyoto, and it is here that the historical record of Yasuke fades into the mists of time. We know that he was delivered to the Jesuits, who were relieved to see him alive, though he was badly wounded. After that, there are no more official entries in the chronicles of the era. Some believe he died of his wounds shortly after. Others suggest he was exiled to Macau or returned to Africa. There is even a theory that he lived out his days as a ronin, a masterless samurai, hiding in the rural villages of Japan, a living ghost of a fallen empire.
Though his time on the stage of history was brief, barely 3 years, Yasuke's legacy is monumental. He represents a bridge between cultures and a testament to the fact that greatness is not defined by where you start, but by the courage you show when destiny calls.
Today, Yasuke has been rediscovered by the modern world. He is the subject of books, documentaries, and anime, serving as an icon for those who feel like outsiders in their own lives. He reminds us that history is often stranger and more diverse than the textbooks lead us to believe. He wasn't just a curiosity at Nobunaga's court. He was a warrior who earned his place through loyalty and lethal skill. The story of the Black Samurai is a reminder that the spirit of the warrior knows no borders. If you want to uncover more forgotten legends of history, subscribe now.